warm, ne? It's all these hot bodies in the front row here. Alrighty, guys, good evening. Welcome to DuePoint. Welcome to everyone who's streaming in around the country on YouTube. Thank you for taking time out of your special evenings, your valuable time to come listen to me. My name's Rob. I'm one of the executives here at DuePoint, and I'm going to be spending the next 55 minutes, if you're good, an hour and a half, 2 hours on DuePoint. And we'll be going through the opportunity. No, I'll be less than an hour. I'm only kidding. Alrighty, so let's begin. DuePoint, we are a division of another business called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. That's their offices in the background. They're based down the road from us in Randburg. That's their little orange logo over there. You might know who Constantia is, you might not. But they are a business that has been around for nearly 70 years. They were founded in 1952. And they are one of the few registered insurance companies in South Africa. So if you check any of your insurance policies, often your life policies will be underwritten by a company like this. So there are very few of these. We might think all these FSPs like Prime Meridian and King Price, and those are insurance companies. They're not insurance companies. They're just financial service providers. They're actually being underwritten by a business like Constantia. Okay, so the FSP number that we operate under is there, and you'll notice in the foyer above the water cooler we've got all our FSP licenses on display. We've got a short and long-term insurance license, we've got an investment license, and our FSP license on display. And we're a member of the DSA and the DMA. So we are fully credited, we are fully regulated by the Financial Services Board. It's very important for you at this stage of the presentation to have some form of trust with regards to the business that you're potentially going to be partnering with, right? That's very important. Too often are we swindled by these startups that we've never heard of that are unregulated, right? I think we call them get-rich-quick schemes. We're not one of those, so you can feel assured that you're dealing with a very reputable business that has been around forever. We've got very reputable individuals that are running this business. On that note, this is our executive and our management team here at DuePoint. The three individuals on the left are all chartered accountants, starting with Brendan, who's the senior executive here at DuePoint, and you'll notice him wandering around this evening. He's got a lot of experience in financial services, particularly in insurance, because him, his brother, their family have been stuck in insurance all their lives. Their father's been involved in insurance for 50 years. He started Clientele Life. He started the IFA. He taught insurance at Wits for 25 years, and he's a professor of insurance. And Brendan and his brother Stuart followed in their father's footsteps. They went on to found Prime Meridian Direct, PMD, which is a very successful short-term insurer based down the road from us. And you will have known them because their advertising's on TV constantly, and they've got billboards all over the place. They even got a billboard right outside my office. Right? So they've been involved in insurance all their lives. I tease them sometimes, tell Stuart and Brendan that their father probably gave them insurance policies for their birthdays when they were growing up. Okay. Then we have Tim. You saw Tim earlier. He got the live stream started for us. Tim comes to us from the First Rand Group, where he's been involved in corporate banking for a very long time. He worked directly beneath the CEO there, reported to the board of executives at the First Rand Group. Huge banking organization. Own RMB, First Rand, FNB, I think they own Discovery too, a very large banking group. So we're very lucky to have convinced Tim to come join us, and he heads up all the financial and the regulatory aspects here at DuePoint. And then Stacey. Stacey's also fairly experienced. She's got experience here as well as overseas in Europe, where she was working for Deloitte. She came back, and we were also able to convince her to join us here at DuePoint. And then the two non-accountants, who the accountants are ignoring. You can see they're ignoring us, right? See in the photo. But we're all good friends. Jane is on holiday at the moment, so she's not around, but she's the face of DuePoint. If you come to DuePoint, that's the first person you'll meet. In reception, smile, and she'll greet you in her Yorkshire accent because she's from York in England. But she's got a lot of experience in direct marketing and direct selling, which is obviously fundamental to this business because this is how we market our business. And then me, I've been working in advertising and marketing for most of my working career. I started a digital agency in the late 90s when the internet was booming, and ran that agency fairly successfully for about 17, 18 years before I got out of that and came to join the team here at DuePoint. So this is the team. our mandate here is to support our wealth engineers, which is you guys, to literally support you and to see you be as effective and as successful in this endeavor as possible. Because the only way for us as a business to be successful is through our wealth engineers. There's no other way. No other way. So it's in our interest to see you guys do well in this business. And that's a very important point, because you don't want to get involved with someone who's got no interest in you becoming successful, right? Think about the person that works with you at work, the person that sits next to you. Do they want to see you become successful? Not necessarily, right? So this is quite a fundamental shift in our thinking with regards to the effort that we put into work. Okay. So while are you here, how many guests do we have here this evening? Raise your hands quickly. It's the only question I'm going to ask you tonight. Great. Okay, welcome, guys. Welcome. You might be wondering what we're going to be speaking about this evening, but I'm sure the person that introduced you to DuePoint, or at least invited you to a function like this evening, might have alluded to a couple of facts about DuePoint, primarily that it is a financial opportunity, right? To put it bluntly, they said, do you want to make more money? That's what they might have said to you. Yeah. And they're correct. That's exactly what it is, right? That's what a financial opportunity is all about. It's about making more money. At this stage of the presentation, I like to discuss two aspects that kind of lead us to this desire, this need to want to make more money. The one is the economy. Do we have a wonderful economy at the moment, a thriving economy? Not really, right? Got zero growth at the moment. 2016 at 0.3% growth. This year they're hoping. I don't know why an economist would even use the word hope, because that's not very technical, but they're hoping for 1.5% growth this year. And he thinks if we get that, we'll be very lucky. The effect of the economy has played out in many different aspects. Primarily the way we feel it is through retrenchment, right? So you might have been retrenched yourself. You might know people that have been retrenched. You might know that your company that you work for has gone through a retrenchment process or a restructuring process which entailed retrenchments. You will have experienced it through the boss telling you, sorry, we're not giving anyone raises this year. All right? You might have experienced in the form of, sorry, we're not giving bonuses this year. That is not your boss just being horrible to you. That's your boss showing you that his interest is in ensuring the survival of the company. And unfortunately, we're on the tail end of that, right? Labor can be very expensive for a company. And so this is how the economy plays out in our lives. The other aspect that we talk about is debt. The four-letter word that everybody loves very much, because we all have debt, right? Everyone in this room, 99% of us, we've got debt. We love it because we always say yes to it and we ask for more. But debt is crippling. We get some very scary statistics from the Financial Services Board about the average working South African, how much debt they have when they start investing in savings and retirement plans, how many are in trouble with regards to paying back their debt. So we get a lot of this data that comes back to us. And actually through that data, the DuePoint system was born. We saw that opportunity to create DuePoint. You are afforded debt the moment you typically earn a salary, right? The moment you start coming into any money, the bank and financial institutions will go, a new client, a potential client. Let's offer them some debt instruments. Let's offer them some investments, some retirement plans, right? SAS has been in the news for the last 3 weeks, right? CPS also in the news, being criticized for selling micro-lending products to all those poor pensioners. But they take it on. CPS said, well, it's not our problem. They made the decision. We didn't force the products on them. So why do we take on so much debt? Because it is so crippling. We take on things like credit cards, buying cars that we can afford, or we think we can afford, but are really a waste of money. We buy homes, and yes, that is probably one of the better investments that you can make, but when you do it over a 20-year term, you end up paying the bank back about 2.5 times the value of that asset. And so you can see how debt starts to cripple us. The problem that we're facing in South Africa is that we've got a lot of debt. The average South African has, of the salary that they get, they're paying half of their salary towards debt repayment. 50% of your salary. You earn 10,000 Rand a month, the average South African's paying 5,000 Rand a month just to pay debt off. And the other 50% is left for the cost of living, groceries, traveling, holidays, kids' education, those type of things, right? Educating yourself, all these things. But now in the economy that we've experienced over the last almost 10 years, interest rates rising, there being no growth in the economy, which means you didn't get a bonus, you didn't get a raise, it means that your debt starts becoming more expensive. So if your debt before was 50% of your salary, today it might be 55, 60% of your salary. But your salary didn't go up with inflation either. So everything got more expensive, but you didn't get paid more. And so we see South Africans getting squeezed. Squeezed financially. Squeezed, squeezed, squeezed. 50% of the people in South Africa that have debt, half of them are under debt review. That's 50% of people that owe money to other institutions can't pay those institutions back at the moment. And now I say to you, what about retirement planning? You can't even pay debt back. How are you going to plan for a decent retirement? How do you do that in an economy like this? You can't, because another statistic we get from the FSB shows us that only 2% of South Africans get to retirement financially independent. 2%. I see there's always one. 2%. That means out of everyone in this room, we've got about 60 people, 70 people in this room. Maybe one, maybe two people in this room will reach retirement financially independent. The rest of us, what are we going to do? What are we going to do when we get to 60 or 65 and your boss says, thank you for your 45 years of service? Cheers. And he doesn't have to pay you a salary that month. And then you go, how much money did I save? How am I going to survive? You start lending from family. You depend on your kids, perhaps. You downgrade your lifestyle so that you can afford to survive. So this is some data Tim sent me that was published on the Fin24 website last year. This is an illustration of what retirement planning looks like. It might scare you, but what the purpose I wanted to serve is to give you a reality check, because some of you might not realize what retirement planning actually looks like. So when you get to retirement at the age of 60, you want to have saved a certain amount of money that you can live off, right? So if you've got R1 million in the bank, that R1 million will pay you 5,000 Rand a month for the next 30 years. But then you have to die when you're 90. Right? Because that 5,000 Rand, although a large portion is interest, it's actually eating into that capital amount. So that million starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So they've calculated it that you're only going to live to 90. Okay? You need R1 million saved, guys. R1 million. If you only save $500,000, you're only going to get 2,500 Rand every month. Can you survive on 2,500 Rand? But who even wants to survive on 5,000 Rand a month? So we look at 26,000 Rand. 26,000 Rand sounds better, right? You have to have saved 5 million Rand in cash. In cash, needs to be saved, invested somewhere. So if you're 20 or 25 in that region, you can start doing this. You can start saving responsibly. You can start your retirement planning early, right? They'll always tell you, investments, you always start early. So you need to save 4,000 Rand a month for the next 40 years. And then you'll be in that position where you'll enjoy the benefit of about 26,000 Rand every month for 30 years. And that'll get you by month to month, right? Can you see why only 2% of the population gets there? Because there's probably very few of us in this room that are even doing anything remotely close to this. And then what happens if you get retrenched in this in the 40-year space. Now you start eating into your savings while you're trying to find another job. So the purpose of this, give you a reality check. It might scare you. It scared me when I got it, right? And I've just spoken to my financial advisor on the phone, which is a good friend of mine, and he keeps telling me, you need to save more. You need to save more. It's like, what do you want me to do? Save half my salary every month. He says, oh, you don't have to, but I'm just telling you, if you want to earn what you're earning now when you're retired, you need to save more because you've left it too late. That's what he told me. I think that's what he tells everybody. Right? So anyway, have a look at this. Let it reflect on your current situation. Look at it and understand what position you're potentially going to be in when you get to retirement. So out of this crisis, out of this need that we saw in South Africa, the DuePoint system was born. We saw opportunity as a business to allow South Africans to empower themselves, to make change in their lives, to beat this system called retirement planning, to do something for themselves that will change their situation. And so the DuePoint system was born, and we have 3 aspirations for our wealth engineers. Number 1, become debt-free. So if we all have debt here, I want to see all of you become debt-free. Do you know what that even looks like? Can you remember the last time you were debt-free? I can't. Eh? I'm 40. I'm 41 this year. I've been in debt for about 20 years. Right? That first salary I got, it's like, I'm buying a car. I'm going to buy a car. And so I've been in debt ever since that day. Ever since that day. I'd love to be debt-free. And I want to see you guys become debt-free. Your house paid off. Your car paid off. Your kids' education paid a year in advance. Right? Imagine what that feels like. Our second aspiration, our second goal for our wealth engineers is to see them building value in something they have ownership over, an investment that grows every month. Every month, you need to start doing that. Something you can look forward to. 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, 20, maybe even 30 years down the line. You start working on that now. The impact that will have is massive the sooner you start a process like that. And our third aspiration is to see our wealth engineers happier, smiling. I see lots of frowns in the audience. Right? That's what debt does to us. Debt makes us frown a lot. We don't smile enough. It's halfway through the month. We've already spent all our money. And we're wondering where the money is going to come from at the end of the month. But if you become debt-free and you start investing in something that grows every month, when you're debt-free, you're going to be smiling at the end of the month. Right? No debit orders going off your account. You don't owe anyone money. I think you'll be floating like an angel when you get to that point. That's what we want to see. We want to see you connect with your dreams and aspirations again. I promise you that situation will liberate you. You know what liberation is? It's when your mind is freed. Then you can decide what you want to do. Because you're free now. Financially free. Brendan always teases everyone. He says, you don't think money is everything. Money is 99% of everything in this life. What can you do without money? You can pat the dog and smile at other people, and that's about it. Hey? We want to change that at DuePoint. So how does this work? Our guests here this evening, you have the opportunity of joining DuePoint. What happens is you contract with us. And when you contract with us, we call you wealth engineers. And as wealth engineers, we want you to do one thing. Only one thing, and that is to build channels of distribution. And I'll speak about that. And into these channels of distribution, DuePoint, through our online portal, will place products with these individuals that you introduce to us. And that's how this whole business works. As simple as that. What are the benefits for you? For you, the benefits are you get to create an additional income stream. Extra money. The system's not designed to replace your salary or your day job. It has to supplement your salary. Brendan will say, this business is not for unemployed people. It's for people who have jobs that can supplement their income with this so that they can pay their debt off faster. Additional income, an extra paycheck at the end of the month, right? The nature of our business allows you to create recurring income. This is one of the reasons why I got out of my business. Selling time is not the best business to be in. Lawyers, plumbers, electricians, designers, accountants, we all sell time. And how much time is there in the day? A finite amount, right? It doesn't change. Unless you're God, you can change it, but we're not God, we can't change it. 24 hours, that's it. And you can only bill for the time that you're being productive in. And that's it. And my business was limited to that. If I wanted to earn more money in the business, I'd have to go hire more people. We didn't have that appetite to hire more people. And if I went on holiday, I didn't bill anything. And at the end of every month, I started at zero again. I'd have to go do the 40 hours a week constantly just to keep up the billing in the business. This business doesn't do that. This is the beauty of insurance businesses. You heard of insurance books? A book is something that has residual value. You get to partake in that. You get to build these channels of distribution. So the effort that you put in one month doesn't pay you only at the end of that month. It pays you at the end of the next month, and the next month after that, and the month after that. And hopefully with time, you'll be in a position where you can take a 3-month holiday, and you'll get paid every single month that you're on holiday. Like my father said to me when I was very young, get into business that makes money when you're sleeping. Didn't know what he meant. Like, what is he talking about? I must buy shares. This is what he meant. He meant get into a business that has residual value. It pays you going forward. The power of duplication. Those channels of distribution, again, allow you to leverage the people you bring into this business. If you have limited time, let's say you only have 2 hours a day to spend on this business, you've got 10 people in your channel that you're collaborating with, they're each putting in 2 hours, now you've got 22 hours being spent on your business. That's going to reward you financially, all that effort. You're accountable to your own time. This business calls you to leadership. Leadership is about being accountable to yourself, being responsible for yourself. If you don't do anything in this business, you're not going to get a phone call from me, or from Brendan, or from Jane. You're not going to get a written warning. We're not going to fire you. You're just not going to earn anything. Hey? If you don't do your job at work, what happens? Written warning, written warning, written warning, disciplinary process, fired. That's how it works. So you're accountable to your own time. Decide how much time you're going to spend in this business. That's really the biggest cost of this business, is time and effort. So by the end of the presentation, when we get to that bright decision slide of the man standing on the mountain with his future in front of him, trying to decide what he wants to do, that's you. And the question is going to be, what are you going to sacrifice in your week to fit DuePoint in if you're interested in this business opportunity? That's the decision tonight. Not, DuePoint looks nice. Let me do it like a hobby, like the gym you decided you were going to do on the 1st of January. No. This is about sacrificing time. I'm not promising you you're going to look better. I'm promising you financial freedom, a change in your retirement, a change in your life, your family's lives. It comes at a cost. Nothing's for free. I spoke about these get-rich-quick schemes. They promise you money just like that. Just like that. And what happens? You know how many people we've had come through these doors that go, I lost money. Last year. I lost money. Triple M. Lost money. And I'm thinking, why did you get involved in Triple M? What did they tell you? No, put 10,000 in, I'm going to get 15,000 next week. Doesn't work like that. So at the end of the presentation, on the decision slide, we're going to decide together. We're sacrificing time in our weeks to fit this business in. Otherwise, it's pointless. You can join, but you're not going to make it happen. No startup capital. We don't ask you to buy product. There's no registration fees in this business. There's no 12-month contract or 24-month contract. Very low risk opportunity we're going to be talking about. There's no qualifications or experience required. We work in financial services. Extremely onerous. Go speak to any financial advisor. They'll tell you what a pain in the bottom it is in today's day and age in South Africa to work in financial services. There is so much regulation you have to abide by that people just get out. They've left financial services. 70, 80,000 financial advisors left because it was too much of a pain, right? And you don't have to worry about any of that. When I joined this business, I didn't even know I had to abide by all the regulation. Brendan told me you got to go write phase exams. Speak to anyone about phase exams, KI exams, RE exams, short-term insurance, risk, all the stuff I'm studying now. See, he ambushed me. He didn't tell me before I said I was keen to join the business. He only told me once I'd joined. You guys don't have to worry about that. You get to build an asset. This is a very important point because if we're talking about sacrificing time, your spare time, precious time, family time, leisure time. We're talking about sacrificing this time. At least invest that time into something that you have ownership over. But we do exactly the opposite in employment. Most of us will work for a business. We have no profit share, no shareholding, no ownership in the business, and we'll spend 40, 45 years in that business. Right? This business, you get to invest in something that you have ownership over. That channel of distribution that has residual value, you can sell it. I don't think anyone will sell it. You can give it to your kids when you get too old to get out of bed. 90, 95 maybe. Give it to your kids. If something happens to you before then, you can cede it to your beneficiaries. That value doesn't disappear, which is important. No selling involved whatsoever. How many of the guests here this evening thought, they're going to ask me to sell something? I don't want to sell a product. We hear it all the time. It's one of the biggest issues in businesses like this. Product, I don't want to sell. I'm not good at selling. I'm not a rep. There's no selling involved, guys. I don't hear any clapping or any ululating. We've taken that away from you. DuePoint will do all the facilitation of those products. You don't have to worry about it whatsoever. The nature of our products are financial, so they are intangible. Right? They're financial products. They don't take up space. I'm still waiting for someone to arrive in a bucky saying, I'm ready to do this business. Where's the products? They don't take up space. You don't have to look for storage space at home. You don't have to argue with the spouse when you put the product in their shoe cupboard. There's no expiry date on the products. Right? So we make this business as convenient as possible, as easy to get involved in as possible for you. But it depends on these channels of distribution that you go out and build. So what are these channels of distribution? You go out and all you do is you tell people about the DuePoint opportunity. That's all. That's all you do. Nothing more. Let us do all the work. Brendan and I will do all the work for you. Bring them to a presentation like the one you're sitting in. And that's all you have to do. Tell people. And when they come to a presentation, they join DuePoint, they'll take out a product. That's the beginning of your channel of distribution. And what do you think those people that join DuePoint are going to do? They're going to do the same thing, right? Not all of them. You can see this one was lazy. Decided not to sacrifice anything. But you have this organic growth. This is leverage. This is the power of duplication. How much effort did it take to put in those 5 people? How much effort did it take to bring 5 people to our head office? And look what it potentially turns into. After 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, What does your channel look like? You're getting paid for every single dot on the screen. Not 1 month. Every single month. Next month, the month thereafter, the year thereafter, the 5 years after that, you're still getting paid for all these active products in your channel. And this is what it looks like. So you might be thinking, oh, I'm on Facebook. I'm going to Facebook everybody. The whole of South Africa, I'm going to be rich in 3 months. I told you, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. There's no getting rich quick in this business at all. It takes that sacrifice. So you see the picture of the ballerina, pretty foot wrapped in the ballet pump, but that's really what a ballerina's foot looks like under the pretty shoe. That's what business looks like. You might see 1 or 2 friends that are doing well, driving a fancy car, living in a nice house, buying new clothes, going to nice lunches. Hopefully they're not doing it all on their credit card. But that's what we think. We think, oh, they're so lucky in their business. But truly, that's what it looks like. All the hard work, getting through the frustration. This business is frustrating in the beginning. You're dealing with people, right? We can hardly get on with our own families. Now we must get on with all these other people. But there's learning curve to it, and there's reward. Don't forget about the reward. The reward is what's going to motivate you. So I warn you, do not have short-term expectations of this business. Don't. You will set yourself up for failure. If you have short-term expectations, what happens? You don't meet them, you get frustrated, you give up. And I see it all the time. I see people come in excited. 2 months later, I don't see them again. What happened? It's a problem that human beings have. We have short-term expectations. We overestimate what we can do in the short term. After 1 year, we think, oh, we're going to be rich. And we underestimate what we can do in the long term. Because we can achieve so much if we're persistent and consistent and focus on the long term. What's long term? 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. But we keep giving up before we even get past the first year. Don't do that. Don't. Let's talk about the money. How much we pay our wealth engineers. We pay them a base return fee of 27.50 Rand for every product, every month that we place in your channel. So remember the first 5 people that you introduced to DuePoint? They lie on point 1. They're 1 point away from you, right? So we pay you double. See, 200%. We pay you double the 27.50 Rand. So we're paying you 55 Rand for every product every month. They go out and do the same thing. These people that they add are on your second point, on point 2. Point 2, again, we pay you 55 Rand for every product every month, to point 3, to point 4, all the way down to point 8. At point 8, that multiplier drops from 200% down to 4%, paying you 1.10 Rand from your 8th point to infinity. We don't limit you on how much you can earn at DuePoint. We don't limit you on the size of that channel. But if you give up after month 6, you think your channel's going to grow? No, it won't. Long-term vision. So this is the mechanics of how the returns work. Straightforward. Okay? Then we get the question, well, how much money do you think I can earn after 3 months or 6 months or 5 years? How much? So we built this. The accountants built it. It's called our path to success. It's based on a growth model. So the growth model says, bring in 3 people in your first month, okay? And in every consecutive month after that, you only need to bring in another 2. Not 5, like we spoke about in the other examples. 3 plus 2, 2, 2, 2 every month. If you can do that, if you can get that duplication into your channel, and we take into consideration the people that don't pay their products, the people that don't build the business, the people that don't have money in their accounts, the people that cancel their products. We look at all of that, and this is the number we come up with. 2,500 Rand after 6 months. No one looks excited for 2,500 Rand. You obviously have a lot more debt than 2,500 Rand, right? People say that you start to relax about your debt when you realize it's so much you can't pay it off. Then you relax for the first time. You're like, can't pay it off. 2,500 rand after 6 months. Is it too little? Too little, too much. But remember, everything here, we focus around that first goal. Becoming debt-free. Debt is crippling. So you take the 2,500 rand and you put it into your debt. Remember, pay your debt off as quickly as possible. Put it into your debt. Here's an example of a person that has a 1 million rand bond with the bank. They found a nice house. They went to the bank. They said, I don't have 1 million rand. Please, will you give me 1 million rand? The bank said, how much salary are you earning? He said, 20,000 rand, whatever. The bank said, okay, we'll give you the bond. 11, 12,000 rand a month for the next 20 years. And you say, thanks. And you agree to the bond. You sign the contract. You join DuePoint. 6 months later, you're earning 2,500 rand. You decide to take that 2,500 rand and add it to your bond payments. Instead of paying that 1 million rand bond off, in 20 years, you're going to pay it off in 11.6 years. You've nearly halved the term of your bond with 2,500 rand. It saves you 1 million rand in repayments to the bank. Think about that. Let it sink in. Your 1 million rand house, you're now putting an extra 2,500 rand into it, saves you 1 million rand. Can you see how much money you're paying the bank back? If you didn't do that, you would have paid an extra 1 million rand to the bank. You would only pay the house off in 20 years. You buy that house when you're in your 30s. When do you pay the house off? In your 50s. Why did average South Africans only start saving for their retirement in their 50s? Because they take the whole 20 years to pay the house off. They only got the kids out of school and through university when they're in their 50s. And it's the only time they've got more money than they've had their entire lives. Right? After a year, you're nearly 10,000 rand a month. After 24 months, you could be on nearly 30,000 rand a month. Now we're talking good money. Right? Still no smiles or excitement. We've got one smile, 2 smiles. 30,000 rand a month? That gets me excited. I know a new Porsche costs 30,000 rand a month. But my wife won't let me buy one. Even though I can't afford it. But if I talk to her about it, she says, even if you can't afford it, you're not getting it. Keep going. 36 months, you're nearly 50,000 rand a month. You can put the 36,000 rand that you're earning at month 30 into a 5 million rand bond. You'll pay that 5 million rand bond. That 5 million rand house off, you'll pay it off in less than 7 years. 7 years! Keep going. 48 months, nearly 70,000 rand a month. And after 60 months, 5 years, you're on 1 million rand annually. 1 million rand over and above your salary at your day job. You can tell everyone at your day job you're earning more working flexi time. And they'll say to you, why have you not quit? And then you tell them because you like telling everyone the story that you're earning more flexi time than full time. But this is all academic, right? This is just theory. Theory, right? Do you believe me when I tell you the theory? You shouldn't. Don't believe anyone's theory. But I've got a couple of cards up my sleeve. I've got wealth engineers that are doing more than 3 plus 2. Remember, this was based on 3 plus 2. Remember 3 plus 2? 3 in the first month, 2 every other month. You can do less than 3 plus 2 if you watch Generations every night and you don't do anything on the weekend and you don't get up early, then you're going to be doing 0 plus a 0 and you're going to earn. But you can do more than 3 plus 2. Why not do more than 3 plus 2? You want to see what more than 3 plus 2 looks like? That's more than 3 plus 2. That's spending all your spare time after work in this business. Try ask your boss for a raise once a month. Here, you don't have to ask anyone for the raise once a month. You go get it for yourself. Regina in KZN. She said she introduced four or five people to the business. She said 4, right? She introduced 4 people into her business. This is what she told us this week. I introduced 4 people into my business, and when I looked again, there were 400 in my channel. Rulof, professional networker. He's been doing networking for about 25 years. He joined this business when we launched it more than a year ago. April. Before October, he realized that this business was actually doing something, and he started to get a little more focused into the business. He's got a strong team underneath him. These are not special individuals. I don't even know what qualifications they have. I don't really care. It's not human psychology or behavioral sciences or any of that. They're normal people, average people. They're just committing time to this business. Time and effort, persistency, consistency. That's all we ask for. We've got hundreds of wealth engineers that we pay every single month that are earning at DuePoint. And exactly like our guests, once upon a time they were only guests at a presentation like this. We have to make decisions today, not for tomorrow, not for next week, not for next month, for 5 years down the line, for our retirement. It has to happen now. Don't leave it too late. So you see, it's not only theory. It's not only academic. We've got wealth engineers that are doing it all the time. You're free to speak to them. Sean's here. Go speak to Sean. So that's the returns. That's what we pay our wealth engineers every month. Over and above that, we've got an XP rewards program. So this rewards you for your success here at DuePoint, over and above what we pay you every month. So these little things floating past are normal behavior that wealth engineers engage in. They come to presentations. We give them what we call XP. You log into your website, we give you XP. XP points, experience points. You bring guests, we give you XP. You watch a training video, we give you XP. And when you start getting more and more XP, and your channel starts to grow, right? You start to rank up in our XP rewards program. So if you join this evening, you'll be a rank 0 wealth engineer. Because you're still 0 plus 0 equals rank 0. But very quickly, in a day or two, you can acquire 1,000 XP, and you can get 4 products in your channel, right? And then suddenly you'll become rank 1. And over and above your returns that we're paying you, we'll give you a 55 Rand bonus to say, well done, keep up the good work. It's about motivation, right? Then you get to rank 2 and we'll give you 100 Rand, 400 Rand, 1,500 Rand, 20,000 Rand. We gave out 2 20,000 Rand checks in December. 50,000 Rand. You see it gets bigger and bigger. The more successful you are, the bigger your channel is. The more XP that you start to gain, you rank up and the rewards get bigger. We give away tools that make you more effective at building your channel. Patrick and Pumi, their Lightning USB drive. It's a little device like this, plugs into everything. Laptops, computers, cell phones, tablets, Apple, banana, Android, everything. Why is that so important? Because all our video collateral's on that little device. So Patrick and Pumi, they can show anybody on their tablet, on their cell phone, what DuePoint is, what we do here, presentation of me, live streaming. They can do it on their phone, right? To help them build their channels faster. Here's Donnie with his rank 7 luxury business cards, and Donnie's here this evening. You can go speak to him. 12,500 Rand to get these business cards done. The edges are done in gold. The logo's done in gold. There's no printing done. No printing on these business cards. They feel like suede when you feel them. You've got to be very lucky for Donnie to give anyone one of his business cards. But when he does, people take note. People haven't heard of DuePoint. Our guests, have you ever heard of DuePoint before the person came and spoke to you? Never. But I promise you, if one of them gave you a 12,500 rand business card, you'd think, Triple M didn't give me one of these. Right? We're not messing around in this business. We take the business very seriously. We want other people to know that. That happens through a business card like that. Rank 9. Everyone gets excited about rank 9 because this is a recurring reward. When you get to rank 9, this is something you enjoy every single year with DuePoint. Every year. 7 days, all expenses paid trip to a luxury resort. For who? Your family. Business class flights. Every year. You get to take your family on a 200,000 rand vacation every single year going forward. You make sure you tell everybody at work that you're flying business class again. They're going to think you're involved in tender fraud. Right? No one gets this. But I'm offering it to everyone in this room. Everyone. Even the one sleeping at the back. Take a look at where we're going at the end of this year. Have a look.
All of your wind has gone, and all of the paths you've drawn have sunk to the ocean sun where no one can see. You stand, don't let the dark embrace, cower the dreams you chase under the rust and blood. Don't let yourself give up.
Some people are skeptical that this is even going to happen. We have wealth engineers that we pay and they go, "Ha, you paid us." Surprised. Right? If you're still skeptical at this point, wait a few months. You will see the videos and the photos of all the families that make this by the end of the year. And there's going to be quite a few at the rate of growth. And it's available for everybody, everyone in this room. At rank 11, we give you a car. Eh? Everyone's looking at the Mini. Sure, that's what I want. Why does everyone love the Mini so much? Eh? The Opal looks nice. No terms and conditions. No, you can drive the car for 6 months. None of that. No DuePoint stickers. We buy the car cash and we give it to you. Don't crash it. Looking at some of the gogos here. Eh? This is only rank 11. The program goes to rank 20. We've got wealth engineers that have reached rank 9 in 6 months. 6 months. It's possible. Again, it comes back to, well, how much time am I going to commit to this business? We have another incentive that's about to end at the end of this month. We gave our wealth engineers opportunity to put 350 products into their channel from the beginning of October. And we've got about 4 families that have qualified, that are coming down with us over Easter, very expensive weekend to go on holiday, down to Franschhoek in the Cape. All expenses, paid trip, 4 days, business class tickets for their families, staying at a 5-star boutique hotel in the mountains between the wine valleys. Michelin star restaurants. You know, the Michelin star chefs down in Franschhoek. Those are like the best chefs in the world. But you know, they make these funny little dishes like this. I only get a little bit to eat, but it tastes so good it's enough. Okay, so this is about to end. We've got a wealth quest that we do every month. So this week, we're rewarded 8 of our wealth engineers with iPhone 5S's because of the wealth quest they conquered in February. So we have one every month. March, 20 wealth points products into your first and second point. If you can do that before the end of March, we will give you a code for the Entertainer app, which gives you 1.2 million rands worth of buy one, get one free vouchers at restaurants and hotels and all kinds of things. Plus, we'll give you 100 gigabytes of data to use for the next year. It's very much a data-driven business, this. Okay. Guys, we get a couple of questions from our wealth engineers, questioning whether this business is going to succeed or not because we seem to be spending too much money on our wealth engineers. It's a very straightforward business model. That's a traditional business model. They spend a lot of money on advertising and marketing. Right? We see all the marketing and advertising that happens. You get phone calls from these people. Mobile advertising, billboards, TV. DuePoint doesn't do any advertising. You won't see a DuePoint logo outside of this building. That's why our guests go, we've never heard of DuePoint before. The billions that the insurance industry spends on marketing and advertising, we don't do that. We take that portion of our premiums and we pay it to our wealth engineers for the word of mouth that they do in the form of returns and rewards. And that's how we afford to pay what our wealth engineers earn here at DuePoint. Okay, so that explains that. We have 3 products. Only 3 products. You can take out 1 product or all 3 products. They all have financial benefit to us. The first product is an investment product. It's 299 Rand a month. It's called Access Wealth. 299 Rand a month, of which 100 Rand of that gets invested in your name, on your behalf, into a tax-free investment fund. That sits with Sanlam, the biggest investment house in the country. Okay? It's not a notice deposit. It's not a fixed deposit. You can draw that money out whenever you want to, but then it wouldn't be an investment. On top of that, you get 110,000 Rand personal accident cover. So you've got the investment, plus we give you insurance with this product. So if something happens to you, you get killed in a car accident or shot or stabbed or you fall off a ladder or the roof, we'll pay your beneficiaries out 110,000 Rand. Okay, so this is the first product, the investment product, Access Wealth. The second product is an insurance product only. It is called Wealth Guard. But this time, for 274 Rand a month, we give you 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. This product does not cover illness. That's personal accident cover, right? Don't get confused. Straightforward product. The third product is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club. This product allows you to save money on the money you're spending every month, right? So for 274, you get to retain 100 Rand of that. We put that into your Wealth Points Buyers Club. And you get to enjoy discounts with all those partners that we've had, right? You see the list of partners, the Entertainer, Eagle Forward, Yuppie Chef. We've gone to them and negotiated, through collective bargaining, we've negotiated discounts with them. So we've got a whole bunch of retailers there, but probably the most popular retailer is ShopRite Checkers, because we are spending so much money on groceries. Through this program, you can get 2.5% off your trolley at ShopRite Checkers all the time. We've had 2 cars sold through Eagle Forward already this month. In 1 month. How much did those people save? Right? So if you want immediate benefit out of the products, this is a great product to have, because you'll get benefit the moment you spend with any of those partners. If you have any questions on the products, you're free to come speak to me afterwards. Think who's here with me. Stacey's here with me this evening. Ask her. I remind you of the support that you get as a wealth engineer here. Remember, I said our mandate, our common interest is to see our wealth engineers succeed in this business. So everything that we do here is to support you. Everything. You can use the presentation rooms. You can book this presentation room, do your own presentations. You can use the boardrooms for meetings. You can use the breakout rooms. We've got free Wi-Fi. You can use the free Wi-Fi, update your apps, do whatever. Free tea and coffee. We live stream everything around the country. Everything that we do here gets put onto YouTube, so that you can grow your channel outside of Gauteng. Don't be limited in Gauteng. You can set up meetings with Brendan or myself. We'll sit down with you and strategize your business with you. We want to see you succeed. So don't join, become a wealth engineer, and then disappear. We don't see you again. There is a learning curve to this business. It's not very steep. It's a very straightforward business. But it's there nonetheless. Get involved. Get onto YouTube. Come to the training. Speak to us. We're here to help you. Okay? The decision slide. Dum, dum, dum. What was the decision we were going to make? What are we going to sacrifice in our week to make this business work? To make space for this business? I know you don't have space in your lives. Number one excuse, I don't have time. That's what we're trying to fix. What are you going to say when you're retired and you don't have enough money? I didn't have enough time. Now you really don't have enough time. That's what we want to fix. That's not an excuse. Our decision now, do I like DuePoint? Yes. Do I think it works? Yes. Do I want to get involved? Yes. Next question, what am I sacrificing to make this business work? Is it going to be 1 hour a week? You can do 1 hour a week. It's completely up to you. Remember, accountability lies with you. Or is it 1 hour a day? Or is it maybe 3 hours on a Sunday? You decide that today. And we'll make this business work together. That's the decision. And we make joining very easy. I told you you've got free Wi-Fi. You've seen iPads on the breakout tables. Jump onto an iPad. If you've got your own tablet or smartphone, get onto our website, www.duepoint.net. Click on the big blue apply button. You become a wealth engineer in 7 minutes. And you can start chasing those first 5 people down. Get to rank 1 before the end of the week. That's how quickly it can happen. That's how quickly it can happen. Spamandla in Durban, go watch his testimony. He went from joining to earning nearly 5,000 Rand in 40 days. 40 days. Up to you guys. Like I said, we've got all our videos on YouTube. get to the YouTube channel, click on subscribe. YouTube will tell you whenever we load a new video up, right? We've got a mobile app. Download the mobile app. Log in. You'll get your 25 XP every day that you log in, so that you can start rolling on that XP, and you can do everything on your app. You can run your business from your phone. And that's it. My story's finished. Guys, thank you for your time this evening. If you have any questions, I'll come speak to you outside.